itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. Hello everyone, today I want to share with you the baby activities that I have for my 11-month-old today. And I like doing a little session every day for about 10 to 15 minutes, and where I work with the child, mainly to work on the bonding between mother and child and work on those fine motor skills, work on reading to the child, nursery rhymes to start developing those vocabulary and literacy skills. So let's start over here with the Montessori object permanence box. I have this one, and he's loving this one right now. It's basically a ball drop. They love anything that has to do with anything with dropping items into a box or into a container, and you can easily make this yourself at home. I actually have a tutorial, I'll link it below for you guys. But basically that's what it is, just dropping the ball in here. That's going to work on that palmar grasp, and then it's going to work on the hand-eye coordination as they have to focus their attention to put the ball in the hole. It's easy for an adult, but it's a lot harder for a child, and he's really loving this right now. He's loving dropping the ball in, and he does it over and over, and he looks for the ball. Where did the ball go? Because it's object permanence, and the child wants to see where the ball went. And so this starts to teach the child that when an object is not in sight, it is still there. All right, moving on to the next activity. I have here a Pom Pom Drop. As I said, anything that has to do with dropping objects into a container they love. This is just a tissue box or a little box that I got at the dollar store. I made a hole on it, and I have some pom-poms that I also got at the dollar store, and the child works on that pincer grasp to work on those fine motor skills, and at the same time they're working on the hand-eye coordination that they have to focus to put the little ball inside of the hole. And so he's really loving this right now as well, because he loves anything that has to do with dropping things in a container, and then he likes seeing what's under it, and I go ahead and I lift it for him, and then he can see what is under it. So he's really loving this activity right now. Very easy to make. Here's another one. This is a favorite. I have used this with all 4 of my kids so far, and they absolutely love it. This is basically some straws that I cut up and a container. I put some holes at the top, and then the child drops the straws inside of the container. At first, the child is going to have trouble doing this because they're not going to know how to grab it, whether like this or like this, but they figure it out after a while. They figure out their own ways on how to get the little straw in there, and it's really a great activity for them to do as they work on those fine motor skills and hands-eye coordination, and then they're working on those attention skills. They're working on focusing on doing an activity from beginning to end, so it really does help the child in many, many ways. All right, moving on to the next one here. This one's similar, and this one you may want to start off with. This is sort of like an object permanence box as well, because it has the hole there so the child can see where the clothespins went. So these are clothespins, wooden clothespins that I got, I think it was Michael's Arts and Crafts store. And I took a puffs container and I made an opening at the back and then an opening at the top, so the child is able to see where the item is going. It's still there even though it's not in sight. So this works on the object permanence as well, Montessori concept. And again, they're working on those fine motor skills as they grab this and put it inside the hole at the top, working on those hand-eye coordination, and then working on those attention skills. So he's really loving this right now as well. He loves going to the back and seeing where it went. All right, moving on to the next activity. I like reading some type of nursery rhyme every day, so I have these little hand puppets that I get, and I have a whole box full of these, but I'll link below a nice set that I always gift to other people that are having new babies. And I also got a set for myself when my first child was born, and they love these, and I love telling little stories with these and also singing the little nursery rhymes. Here I have a Nursery Treasury Book, and this thing is really old. It's actually falling apart at the spine there already because I've used it with all of my kids, and it actually got passed down from family members that have also used it, so it's pretty worn out, but it's really nice. And it has a lot of nursery rhymes, a lot of nice pictures. It has songs. It has all the basic like nursery rhymes, all the common ones that you always hear. And at the end it also has stories, and it has songs. So I try to do a couple of those every day just to work on those language skills, and again, work on that bonding with the child. I sit them on my lap, or I sit them on the high chair really close to me, and I go ahead and I sing these to him. He really, really loves it right now.
Tap, 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 tap the floor. Can you do it? Tap, 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 tap the floor. Very good. Clap, 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 clap your hands. Clap, 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 clap your hands. Yay! Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. Ba, ba, black sheep, have you any wool? Yes, 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 sir, 3 bags full. 1 for my master and 1 for the dame. 1 for the little boy who lives in the lane. We're done with that. What about here? I have a little spider for you. The itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain. And the itsy bitsy spider went up the spout again. Ready? What about this one? Twinkle, twinkle, little star, what a wonderful child you are, with those big brown eyes and those nice round cheeks. Talented person from head to feet. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, what a wonderful child you are. Yay!
Alright, moving on to the next thing. Here I have an open-ended basket that I set up for him every day. So I observe what he's interested in, and then I put little things inside his box. So you have a little ball that I'm putting in here today, where he loves observing and looking at the little ball and then throwing it around. He loves throwing that thing around. Here I have one of his sensory cards that I threw in here today, and he loves feeling these, and I made a whole video on how I make these sensory cards, and I'll link that below for you guys. Here I have another thing. He loves getting into the girls' Feel Better corner, and I'll link that video below of the Feel Better corner, because that's really a really great way to teach your children how to moderate their behavior and how to self-regulate. And he loves getting in there and playing with this. So I went ahead and I put this in here today so that he can play with it. Here I have a little sensory book, and this is just, I got this when at the hospital when the babies were born. A long time ago they gave this to me at the hospital. But basically it's just like a sensory book. You can get them in Amazon, and it has high contrast colors like black, red, and white. And so the child is working on that visual sense, and also it's a sensory output because it can make sound, so kids love that. Here I have like an egg that I just threw in here today, and then I have this other little thing which is like, they love playing with it. It like twists all around. They love playing with this. I don't know why, but this is also in my Feel Better corner, and he always goes in there, so I decided to put some of those things in there today. So basically this is an interest-led container, and where I have different activities that he's interested in. Sometimes I may put kitchen utensils in here. Sometimes I can put tissue wrap or whatever he's into. Maybe I could put a cardboard box, little cardboard box in there for him. Whatever I see that he's interested in, I follow his interest and I make activities out of, or I put it in his little container. Because whenever a child is interested in something, there's a very high learning potential there. They're learning, they're gathering information from those items. So it's really important to follow your children's interests. Alright, so I hope you all have enjoyed the video. This is just a little session of what we did today so that you can get an idea on how you can work with your little ones. The whole point of these activities is to work with the child to create a bond between parent and child, and also to work on those fine motor skills, the language development, the interest-led activities, so that they can develop early on a love for exploration, a love for discovery, a love for learning. And so I'm going to link below how you can make more fine motor activities for your children. I have a whole entire tutorial on those. I'm going to talk about more of the Montessori activities for little ones. I'll link that video below on how you can make your own. And so if you have enjoyed the video, I also have one for little older kids, like 1.5. I'll link that video below as well. And if you have enjoyed the video, please remember to subscribe and click on the notification bell so that you never miss a video. Also consider subscribing to my email list so that you can get your videos through email whenever I post a new one. I hope you have enjoyed the video. Look in the description box for more related videos and more information. Until the next time, bye-bye.